Good afternoon everyone. Been asked if I could do a video on three-way valves in a heating system. If you've got a boiler, cylinder, hot water tank as other people call them, and an F&E tank in a loft, and you've got a domestic system with an airing cupboard usually, the tank in it, a pump and a three-way valve. Now what can happen, and has often caught people out, is a three-way valve can go, and the only notice you get about it is the fact that your heating's probably gone off. You find that you're getting hot water to the cylinder, to the tank, plenty of hot water, but no heating. So there's no heating running around the system at all. And you might think maybe it's the boiler, but no, you can see it going when it calls for hot water, and also you can see the pump is working, and you've tested that and you know the pump is going okay. So what do? We check the three-way valve. Now the good thing is, if this has happened to you, for a stopgap over the winter at least, you can pull a lever on the valve and you'll get your heating back. You will find you have to have hot water and heating together, but it will get you by until such time as you renew it. I'll show you mine. My three-way valve is not in an airing cupboard, which is where they normally are. 75% of the time you usually find the motorised valve is in an airing cupboard. Okay, I'll show you mine, and I'll show you where the lever is. It may be in a slightly different place on yours, and how you can get your heating back going again just by pulling this lever across. And then I'll show you a drawing, a little diagrammatic, and you can see how that actually works. So I'll show you mine in the cupboard first. Okay, now there is my three-way valve. Now this is a common sort of connection really. Central heating pump in, up into the three-way valve, and you've got your AB on the pump. A is heading round to my heating, B is going round to the hot water tank. That's my dog barking. He knew his timing. Now look, if this is a common one, it's a Honeywell type, they're very common. Now they have a little lever on the side. Let me see if I can show you that lever. Can you see that there? Now if your valve has gone and you've got no heating, you can get round it by pulling that lever across. Can you see that? Just put him across and click him up. I've clicked him in position, so he's now manually on. Okay, it will lock there and it will make sure your heating gets going until such time as the winter comes along. To release, just let it go and it will spring back. I'm only just showing you that, but lock it up in position, on the locked off position up there. Okay, once you've done that, your heating will stay on, and it's a good stopgap until you get this done. If it has gone, you can just replace the electronic part, the head. We call it the head of the unit. It does come off and you can redo it, but obviously make sure you know what you're doing as far as connecting the wires up in the box, because as you can see there's a lot of power in there, so make sure you know what you're doing. Generally I always replace the whole thing. I like to get the whole thing renewed, because if that's worn, you know, belt and dollar, probably the actual valve part is worn as well. So that's a little trick to get you around if you find you've got no heating at all and you've got this type of system. So check your three-way valve, it's a must. Okay, I'll show you back to the drawing now. Well, here is our drawing. Well, I've sketched out a bit rough, but never mind. Generally, here's our boiler. This is an open, unvented system. You know, it's not pressurised at all, and it's generally what's in a lot of houses, especially the older houses. It will generally tend to be an open, vented system, low pressure. Generally, you've got your boiler. You'd have a flow pipe coming up like this, and then you'd probably have an air separator. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have what's called a H system, but I won't run into that with a feed going up. And you'll find it vents in the roof tank there, in the little header tank, F&E tank, and then the cold feed drops that side of the valve. It then runs down into a pump. You should find that in your airing cupboard if it's this type of system, but not always, I'm afraid, not always. And then it will come to your three-way valve. Now look, there's the three-way valve. Generally you can see what happens. The B side normally goes into the cylinder, the hot water tank, and heats the water up. The A side usually generally comes out and runs around to our radiators. So of course you can see that should that valve go, that you're stuck, that heating side will not work. You'll probably find that it will be running the hot water okay, but it will not run the heating. If that's happened to you, just manually turn that lever and you'll restore your heating straight away, and it's a good stopgap until such time as you get that valve renewed. Now if you've got two separate zone valves, that comes down, it goes into two separate valves, you will find that one of them is gone. If it's the one to the heating, again the same thing, you've got a lever on it and you can click it across and get your heating going again. So I've showed a three-way valve, but there are others with two, which is just goes into one here and one there. Again, the one that would go up into the tank and the other one would go around the heating. And if you pull the lever across on the one to the heating, you'll get your heating going again as a stopgap for a while until you get the valve sorted out. Okay, and that's it. It's as simple as layman terms I can possibly make it for you. If you've got any questions on it, do just give me a mail. You know how to contact me. Okay, so that's it from me. Thanks very much for watching. Derrickton33 for all my videos. Thanks for watching.